So let's now go to our reporter, Ronald Masinda, who I understand is in Newlands East in Durban area. Ronald, just confirm exactly where you are and what you're seeing.
Sally, good evening. We are coming live from Queen Nandi Drive, and behind me, Sally, is actually a building that is on fire. We don't know at this stage what may have caused the fire, but what we are seeing in the background, Sally, is that the fire appears to be at the top section of the building. We are seeing quite a number of companies that do work on that building, but what we're also not seeing, Sally, is firefighters. We're also not seeing any policing presence, and details at the moment we don't have in terms of what could have caused the fire. But where we are, Sally, around us, people are still continuing looting near here, where we've seen throughout the course of the day factories such as game stores being looted, and many people are still here walking away with a lot of goods. Around us, we are seeing quite a number of vans and taxis continuing to loot, and there's been very little policing presence throughout the course of the day. One policing yala we saw earlier on in the day, but that was it, and no people were arrested during the time that we've spent here, and we've been here since 10 o'clock in the morning, but that building continues to be on fire. We will try and find out more from authorities as the night unfolds as to what could have started the fire at that building.
And I mean, that's the worrying thing, and we were chatting to one of the reporters earlier who said that what tends to happen at night are fires, and when you and I spoke last night, there were those small fires around that one mall where you were positioned. What do you think we're in for this evening? Are you seeing an increased presence of the army, of the Defence Force at all?
I think when we left this vicinity earlier in the day, we only saw one vehicle that had the army presence, but we didn't see the army at this particular spot, and this has been one of the areas that has been hardest hit in terms of looting. Several factories have been looted. Even now, Sally, on my left, people still walking unashamed, carrying goods, saying that the guys that we spoke to saying that, you know, they need these goods because government will do nothing for them. Some of the people we even spoke to are pro-Jacob Zuma supporters. They also said that until the former president is released from prison, they will continue doing this. If he's not released, they will continue doing this. So many people, young, old people, are going from and to and from that actual factory store. A lot of people carrying goods such as home appliances, a lot of them carrying bicycles, but also, I have to admit, some carrying food, saying that, you know, this will last them for several months because they've been really struggling during lockdown level 4. But as we're seeing, Sally, people still going to and from this area. We will try and maybe get a closer look into the fire because it is, we are getting a sense that it is getting quite strong, and we don't know what extent that fire has spread, because all we are seeing at the moment is that the fire has certainly hit the top floor. We don't know the extent of the fire at the bottom and in front of the building.
Ronald, is there any fire engine? I see you're dealing with a...
Sorry, I must have missed it.
That's all right. That's all right. I mean, I'm just watching the people that are passing you, and there's people with bags of rice on their head, and I see bicycles going past. Are these people who have looted or who are stocking up and concerned about the availability of food?
I think majority of people who were here, Sally, were people who were looting, and many of them are saying that this could only been the only opportunity where they could have gotten such goods. I mean, we're looking at a van, a bakkie carrying a fridge, and a lot of people who were here, they even hired a lot of the bakkies from these areas, saying that they needed to stock up. But what we are seeing is a vehicle which appears to be a medical rescue service vehicle. We're not quite sure if it's attending to the scene, whether or not it is looking out for people, but people continue saying things on camera, in taxis, a lot of them also carrying liquor, Sally. Some of the looted stores are liquor stores. They were drinking liquor without any shame, without any concern and no remorse as to why do they attack such businesses that offer so many people employment even during these tough economic times.
Very quickly, Ronald, is there any fire engine in view?
I missed your last point, Sally.
I said, is there any fire engine to deal with that fire behind you?
So at this stage, Sally, we will try and get closer to the scene because what we are seeing is there's a rescue service vehicle. But also important to point out, Sally, is since we arrived here early in the day, some people even said there were 2 people who they believe had died. One person died at a warehouse. The circumstances behind that death, we don't know. But the one body that we saw ourselves laid under the bridge, and the people on the ground were saying that that person may have been pushed over the bridge and succumbed to his death, and that body has been laying there for several hours, and there's no knowing as to why that body was not, seen by forensics and medical staff, but that person has since been laying there, and people just going on, continuing looting stores. We are seeing more and more people, even some using prams, such as this lady who's going to walk past our visuals now, stocking up. And as you can see, Sally, people finding different ways of trying to, pack and take their goods that they now claim belongs to them.
And it was, Ronald, just as that lady went past, the slogan on her bag was "Bag to the Future," and one wonders at this time what the future holds. I mean, short term, we have just had a very alarming interview from Fleet Watch magazine talking about the truck, saying that food security is a real problem because everything we use comes from a truck. Everything, and our warehouses are being destroyed. So even when those trucks can get through, there's no safe place to store the goods that we need. There are serious concerns about supply of fuel. We were told as well that I think it's the eNCA oil refinery in Durban has just been closed down. They've obviously done that for security reasons. We're just trying to get full clarity on what's happening there. And one wonders, bearing in mind that we're in the middle of a pandemic, where the sense of celebration comes from. I think it was Desin Thathia earlier today who said it's like an illegal Christmas. Is the atmosphere one of jubilation, or is there an undercurrent of anger?
I think it's both, Sally, because those who say they are pro-Zuma, they are saying that they are angry that their former president, someone whom they revere, is behind bars. But for some people, other people that we spoke to, the people who run businesses, a petrol station owner who we spoke to earlier, he decided to open his petrol station. He says that he received threats from residents, people saying that they cannot afford to have another petrol station closed. And this man says that due to those threats, he was forced to open. He's been running his business for 21 years, and that the majority of people that he employed are actually from a nearby township. And many of those petrol stations near his area are not open. Some of them have been looted, some of them have been gutted. And he feels that, should he run out of fuel, diesel or petrol, he could be next. So there are concerns by many businesses here in Durban whether or not they will survive post this, aftermath of the issues that are happening here on the ground. Many people fear that,
as we close,
not only
As we close, sorry, Ronald, but turn around and see that fire. It is just taken on a new dimension, and I truly hope that we will see the ambulance services arriving to deal with that fire, because that is looking like it's turning into a massive blaze at this time. Ronald Masinda and your camera person, please do stay safe. They're coming to us live this evening from Newlands East in Durban. Stay with us. We've got plenty more to come in the 7 o'clock hour.